mean, can you imagine spending some time with A-listers just hanging out, and they're discussing their careers, and all Harry and Meghan can really say is how they have made their money, from trashing their own families and filing lawsuits too. They can't talk about working hard in Hollywood and accomplishing anything. And certainly the star has turned into a black hole when it comes to those two. If we can believe what has been written in gossip magazines, Meghan would just love to be buddies with people like Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and other A-listers. But also, if we're to believe what has been written, not a single one of them actually wants to be friends with her. After going to their wedding back in 2018, George and Amal Clooney were an A-list couple they continued to sometimes spend time with. Amal was at Meghan's New York baby shower, and if I understand things correctly, Meghan flew back with her in the Clooney's plane. Apparently, it was even George Clooney who suggested that J.R. Moringer should be the ghostwriter for Harry's book, but while Moringer was pretty excited at the beginning, he supposedly realized pretty early on that Harry was simply not the person he thought him to be, and so he decided to pull out, and that explains the change of style towards the end of the book. So that relationship has certainly come to an end. And what about Serena Williams? Well, since that first podcast episode, there have not been any more sightings of the two of them together. A few years ago, Meghan did show up to watch her play in New York, but Serena lost, and apparently she asked that Meghan not come to her matches anymore. And then how about Oprah and Gayle King? Well, there are no reports of them getting together and gossiping. David and Catherine Foster, they had a meal together in Montecito, to which Meghan and Harry brought their photographers to take pictures of them going into the restaurant. But there's been no sign of them spending any time together after that. So it looks like the list is becoming increasingly shorter. Mariah Carey, oh, no sign whatsoever of them spending time together. Now, I didn't listen to the podcast episodes, I just couldn't do it. But anyway, as I understand it, Mariah referred to Meghan as a diva, and apparently Meghan did not agree with this assessment. And did Jennifer Aniston not supposedly report them for bringing a photographer into an exclusive club or something like that? I remember hearing something along those lines. So what about Tyler Perry? Well, it seems like he is the only one supporting Meghan and Harry lately, but I understand that now he is also upset with Meghan. There's a story making the rounds that he was visiting his friend Oprah instead of Meghan when he went to Montecito. So maybe this is just another example of Meghan's truth, like the one that Princess Diana's two sisters flew out for the christening, when in fact it has been proven that both of them were having dinner with their husbands and their brother. Oh, and how could I have forgotten Meghan's ex-bestie Jessica Mulroney? Her twin sons were page boys at the royal wedding. Apparently now they're not getting along very well either. The only person I can think of is Elton John and his husband David Furnish. Now Elton John has always had a soft spot for Harry, and as I understand it, he's basically a kind of uncle figure to both William and Harry. But I'm also curious as to why that project that Meghan was on with Furnish for Netflix ended up being cancelled. But even when it comes to Elton John, there is a rumor about why he is no longer supportive of Meghan. It seems like Harry and Meghan were using his plane and they did not realize that he had it wired, so every conversation was recorded. So rumor has it Meghan and Harry said some very not nice things about Elton John and David Furnish, and that they were only friends with him because he allowed them to use his private jet. And the other story is that he agreed to perform at the Coronation on condition that Meghan and Harry not be there. Now, it's true that both of these could just be rumors, but for sure the first one has more than a little ring of truth. Everybody knows that not only are Meghan and Harry whiners, but they're also grifters. They love to mooch off other people. Just imagine talking bad about somebody who has lent you their private plane. I mean, talk about entitled. The two of them deserve the disdain of the public because they brought that all onto themselves. And I was also curious about why Elton John would bug his plane, but you know what? Maybe it's just that he's been taken advantage of so many times. It's something he only switched on if he's lending it to somebody. You're going to find out who your friends are that way for sure. And they also were not invited to his Elton John's farewell tour in the US last year, so clearly they did something to upset him. Most of the people who have turned down an opportunity to perform actually had bookings already scheduled, like Adele and Ed Sheeran among them. It's just a media story that these people were available to come and just did it to snub the king. So perhaps Elton John is in recovery right now from substance abuse. We know that using substances can induce paranoia. And this paranoia can continue even after the user stops using the substances. I actually have a little bit of experience in this area. You can't get to be a worldwide celebrity with talent by being a complete idiot. He cannot have failed to notice their plummeting reputation, if indeed they ever had one, and it would shock me if he didn't bug his property considering both of these reasons. So back to the question. Well, the Obamas are certainly not supportive of Meghan and Harry anymore, and all the famous people who were happy to know and be associated with Harry when he was a member of the royal family have also abandoned him and Meghan. Now he's just an ordinary person, remember? Just call me Harry. He's married to an unlikable former cable TV star who simply cannot keep her trap shut, and so all the celebs have run away. In fact, it seems like these days the only celebrity that's seen with Meghan is her husband Harry, and his star quality has fallen so much that he has become a black hole at this point. And Meghan has already proven that she's willing to do anything for publicity, so she's recognized as being untrustworthy, and I think it's improbable that she's ever again going to be the bosom buddy of anybody who values their privacy. It's obvious that the only reason that Meghan and Harry would attend the coronation would be to see what they can get to put in their next book or Netflix show or whatever. The only source of money they have is in trying to destroy the monarchy and the reputation of the people in it. Harry's gonna need a whole lot of dough, though, if he wants to hold on to Meghan Markle. She has very expensive taste, as we have seen. She has to have a home with at least 16 bathrooms, don't you know? I'm not sure how many bathrooms they had in her house when she was growing up, but I would assume around two. I mean, we would think that Meghan was the one with the family money. She's got to have everything that she wants, or else there's going to be hell to pay for Harry. We can guarantee that it doesn't have a thing to do with the king's coronation, and instead it has everything to do with the media attention they're hoping they're going to get. One of the reasons, in fact, that Meghan Markle fired Saks, her previous PR company, was to pivot back to leveraging the royal connection. They know they took things too far. Sunshine Saks told them that. But being royal is the only card they have to play, and they have such an expensive lifestyle to maintain, so they are desperate for royal money to pay for it. The fact is, Harry and Meghan don't really have anything to gain personally from attending the coronation. I'm guessing they're going to go out of politeness, maybe, but I do hope that they don't. I hope they can just enjoy spending time with Archie for his birthday in Montecito. And I'm not sure why people are thinking that Harry and Meghan may write about the coronation, actually. I'm guessing they have topics that are so much more interesting and relevant that they can focus on. Not. And I don't think we need to worry so much about them getting more media attention. I don't think it really matters all that much if they come or if they don't come. I think the media is still going to be writing about the two of them. I mean, it looks like there are so many people who are making this coronation all about Meghan and Harry. I mean, in fact, it's quite sad that people are acting like Charles and Camilla are just unimportant compared to those two. So I, for one, hope that the focus can remain on King Charles and Queen Camilla, and also, of course, Princess Catherine and Prince William. And you, do you agree with us? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments section. If you preferred our video this evening, remember to like and share it with anyone else who needs it anytime you want. And please subscribe to our Kate Middleton and the Queen News channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for watching, good night, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.